What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Guess what? You know it's your girl, your big sis, L Vintage. We here for another informative, dope episode of Stage Left right here on Top Class Radio. Listen, the station is your flyest station worldwide. Look, we ain't playing games. You got the flyest host right here on Stage Left, sitting couch side, looking ill, killing it. And then you got the world's flyest radio station. You can't go wrong. You could take us anywhere. Hear us up and down 95, South 77. You want cross seas? Take it to the boys over there. They working real hard out there trying to keep the country safe. Let them hear Stage Left. Let them hear Top Class Radio. We here. We ain't going nowhere. You dig? What's up, everybody? Y'all the dopest audience out there, and we love you. We thank you for tuning in. We thank you for coming back week after week and keeping up with us. We promise to keep bringing you great information, these stories and journeys of like artists and authors and our community members. Listen, we're trying to make sure that whatever you need, whatever information you need, whatever heart to heart you need, whatever type of love you need, you can come wrap your arms around LEL and Stage Left and Top Class Radio, and we got you covered. 100, right? Listen, we're here tonight with Sister Tarini Wade. It's Tarini, yes?
Taryn, or feel free to call me Tara.
Tara?
Yes.
Okay, Terry Wade, Tara Wade. Listen, we are here with this sister who hails from, is it the 704 down there?
No, it's the 404.
Oh, the 404. Okay, we got codes, y'all. We got area codes. I keep telling y'all we worldwide. I keep telling y'all we worldwide. So we travel down into the quarter of Georgia. And we going to make sure y'all get all this good peach and love tonight because we got some info, we got some love for you, and we want you to be informative. So go get your paper, go get your pen, and don't tell us that you forgot some information because you can always fast forward and rewind. That's why we leave it up online. You feel me? Listen, how are you, my sister?
I'm excellent. How are you? I'm
I
thrilled.
am totally blessed. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Thank you for offering to come on and to talk to the world about what you're passionate about: administrators, school education, children with IEPs and disabilities. I applaud you and commend you for your tenacity in the work, because this work, especially educationally, is not easy at all. It isn't
Absolutely.
easy. Um, and so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually read your bio, but let me get this info out the way for real quick. Y'all need to go on over to IG and click like, follow, share 609 Stage Left and Top Class Radio. You dig? The world's flyest radio. I gotta keep saying it because I just love it, right? And then hop on over to Facebook and do the same. Stage Left and Top Class Radio. You can't go wrong. We always got something in tune for your ears. If you're feeling froggy or you want to leave us a message, I'm going to give y'all the number anyway: 609 418 9816. 609 418 9816. Always got to use my phone voice for the people. You know what I mean? So I'm going to read your bio because I thought it was very, very interesting. Okay, and I believe in giving flowers. So, uh, Tyranny is Tyranny, right?
Taryn, just
Tarana. Tarana
yep.
Wade has been positively influenced in developing youth with and without disabilities based on extensive self determination research. She has had the pleasure of coaching fellow educators and mentoring dozens of university students seeking careers in education. As a district administrator, Tarani Tarana has facilitated professional learning communities through action research in effort to increase student achievement and improve behavior. That's big. Tyranny is a staunch prominent proponent, of STEM education for underrepresented populations, and she continues to passionately serve as an educator In addition, she works as a student advocate by lending her expertise to the phenomenal team of attorneys who specialize in educational litigation for underprivileged children. Tarina is also a certified life coach, facilitation consultant, and master, wow, Reiki? Okay.
Yeah.
Specialist. Let's get it. Um, Share your voice. Play an active role in your children's IEP process. That is your book, yes?
Yes. That is.
Okay. So y'all hearing it. You have the tools. You can definitely get this book. It's entitled Share Your Voice. Play an active role in your child's IEP process. The website is thescholarsplace.com, and I'll let her give you all the rest of the goodness afterward. What's up, Sister Wade?
How's it going? I'm just happy to little nervous, but we're gonna get through it. I
Hey.
feel I'm such a classic introvert that I don't usually put myself out of my comfort zone. But I figure if I can come on and any viewer, even if it's just one, can hear what I have to say
Come on
and
now.
connect with what I've written in this book, then
Absolutely.
and it helps their child, then I'll do it a million times over and over and over again.
Okay, that's what we like. That's what we like. Did you say classic introvert?
Yes.
Introvert. Classic introvert. That's serious. Because, we try not to let people know about our little introvert sessions, but we have them. And sometimes they're better when we are than we're not. You know what I mean? So we got to take that time to just even process through a lot of information and experiences that we have been through. And as an educator, let me tell you something. Coming into them schools, going into the schools, the office, whatever part or role is played in the realm of education is essential, and it is not an easy task. You feel me? So I really appreciate your hard work, your agility, and your determination when it comes to our children. We're talking IEPs, children with disabilities, underprivileged children. Tell me how you actually got into this role.
Well, it definitely wasn't on my list of things to do. I never wanted to be a teacher growing up. I used to like to play school and all of that. But as soon as I graduated from college, I just started to work as a substitute teacher.
Okay.
And I was assigned to a classroom of all boys, all behavior problems.
Mm,
Uh, I was ready to quit probably by the end of the second week, but luckily I had excellent role models and mentors who taught me how to teach
right.
and how to teach children. And once I learned, what it takes, I fell in love with it, and I've been in special education um, ever since, minus the last maybe 2 or 3 years.
Okay. So, with special education, are you still in education?
I am still in education,
Okay.
and I currently right now work at a virtual online school.
Oh.
Uh, there's another reason why I got into the profession, um, and I didn't find out until after I got into it, and it's a factor that made me stay in it.
Mm,
I have a relative, very close relative, who in the second grade, and this person is older than me, and I always thought that they were brilliant. But in the second grade, this person's teacher wanted to put them in special education.
wow.
And, you know, luckily, this person had parents that knew better,
Mm,
and that their child was not eligible for these services, and that this person could flourish without them. But I just kind of imagine what the trajectory of this person's life would have been
wow.
if they didn't have these parents that were adamant about protecting. Um,
Right. Absolutely. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I concur. I've had two of my young men. I have three kings.
mhm.
We have three kings. Shout out to my queen. But two of my sons had 504 plans. And one was determined would, it was on the table. Do you want to do an IEP, or do you want to do, and the difference, knowing the difference between the both set the precedence. Will you tell us real quick the difference between a 504 and an IEP?
Well, yeah, basically a 504 is more so for health related issues,
Mm-hmm.
medical issues, and then an IEP is more for more cognitive issues for
Cognitive. Okay.
students. Hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is very imperative. It's important. All my parents out there, please tune your ear. I really hope that you're, writing some of this down. It is important to have parental advocates. As parents, sometimes we don't know all of the language. And if we allow people to kind of bend and we not stick to what we really know or what we really understand, and ask questions, we will miss it. And then people will classify our children, whether it's necessary or not. It is important for us to, take the proper route. Sometimes I see a lot of children, a lot of times, that do have IEPs, and for the most part, the classification comes through the behavior. If a child has a certain type of behavior, we want to throw them over here and say, listen, they need to be on medication, they need to this, they need to that, instead of actually seeking why those behaviors are there and finding out if the child is maybe he has a trigger. You understand? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just something with the learning process that is drawing him out or her out. And a lot of times we don't dig deep enough. It's whatever's on the surface, and that's what's left. You know what I'm saying? So uh, we definitely need to fully express and understand the mobility of an IEP and what it can do for our children and how it may work. Like I said, I do see a lot of times people just really throw out medication. He need to be on medication. She need to be on medication. But what is it about medication, instead of taking the time to really, you know what I mean? Most teachers will tell you nowadays, I don't have time to keep doing this.
That's what I was just going to say. Sometimes it's just some educators, have a lot on their plate, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm an educator advocate as well, and I kind of like playing this middle ground where I'm the educator's advocate, but I'm also the family's advocate.
Right.
Y'all can work together to come to a solid compromise about what students need specifically and individually for their own, growth. And I just find that, the reason that I wrote this book, my inspiration was going to meetings after meetings after meetings,
Mm-hmm.
um, and, you know, just wanting parents to know a little bit more about the process, because I feel that empowered parents make empowered children. And so,
Absolutely.
that's the reason why I wrote this book. Of course, every year, parents are given parental rights by the school so that
Yes.
they know what their options are. But I feel like sometimes there's a lot of educational jargon in there, and sometimes things just need to be explained
Right.
in late. And that's the style in which I wrote this book, with like reflection, a lot of reflection pages to, have, and I kind of post questions on those pages so that it can get parents in the mind about what to expect and what kind of questions they themselves should answer before they go in to meet with the school.
Absolutely. So tell us, what is actually the proper step of going about, IEP, the education behind IEP, and realizing if our children need it or not.
Well, it all starts when a teacher or parent or anyone, notices that maybe a child is not performing at the same levels of their peers.
Mm-hmm.
So once that is, established, then someone, teacher, parent, whoever, administrator, will refer that student to a team. And it's called many different things in many different school districts. Some
Right.
people, districts call it SST, Student
Mm.
Support Team, Response to Intervention, RTI, or MTSS, Multi Tiered System of Supports. So whatever the case, the student is referred to this group, this team, and what they do is they monitor their children's. They kind of uh, look to see what kind of goals does this child need,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's math, language arts, both, whatever the case. And then they take data weekly to see how that child responds to whatever interventions that they're providing. If the student responds, then that lets us know, oh, this child might not need special education after all.
Mm.
But if the student does not respond, meaning they do not make improvements data wise, then they may be eligible for special education, and then there will be a psychological evaluation that comes after that. And parents should know that they are always in control of what they allow their children to be a part of.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what do you say to the parent who just really just doesn't know, but they're also afraid to push their child in that direction?
Well, I think it's important to spend time with your child,
Mm.
you know, help them with their homework, see what you notice at home for them.
Absolutely.
Um, and if you notice that there are deficits, then maybe, there's a, chance that he or she may need special education. And even after that point, um, once a parent gives permission for a student to be evaluated,
Mm-hmm.
by a school psychologist, and that report comes back, and the parent might feel like, I don't know if this is right or not. Take your opportunity.
Mm.
It's your choice. You can go get a second evaluation and compare the scores, because
Absolutely.
assessor bias is real. So
Mm.
you want to be able to get that second opinion. We do it when we go to the doctors, so let's do it for our children too.
Listen, I'm telling you, sir. What is that? I know. I don't. Mm-mm. I'll be back. I believe in definitely digging in and finding out. Especially when it comes to I have one of my little babies that I was taking care of. He was very intelligent. He is very intelligent, and he had some cognitive issues, and as far as the learning disabilities or the learning disabilities, we really didn't catch that. It was like everything about education he caught on too quickly and sped through it. You know what I mean? But the flip side of that was some triggers that he had. And the other part of that was okay. By the time he's done this, he's overwhelmed because the teachers are throwing so much work on him, and they're forcing him to do certain things. And as he's a little guy, so you can imagine. I mean, I'm talking. He was 6, 7, so just trying to filter through all of his emotions and figure what he needed was a whole journey. And so as we realized some of the things that he needed, you know, educationally, he was a special kid. He was gifted. He identified with everything very quick: numbers, letters, lines, characters, writing, great writing. But it was that cognitive, um, I don't even want to say dyslexia, but some things he did was a little backwards.
Just kind
Eh,
of process.
right, his processing.
Mhm.
And so, just seeking help for him was it was a journey because people were like, no, he don't need this, he don't need that. And I'm like, yes, he does. If you don't see it, something is wrong. We're giving you an opportunity to actually see in him. He talked. His conversation was very prolific for a 6-year-old. I'm like, okay, where did you come from? But he did. He had bothering him, or they were teasing him. He knew the difference, and so they kind of utilized that as to push him out. And I'm like, so what are we doing with all these degrees and this money? What are we doing? Are we putting him somewhere for behavioral, or are we going to help him work through that? And it's not the easiest feat, but I believe at like 6 years old, we have to give time for development. And
Right. Yeah. So, and I'm a little rusty because I have been out just a few years. But usually, we don't put labels on students until they turn 9. You
right,
know, them
that
a
part.
category, right?
Baby, come on up here to New Jersey.
Oh,
Because
oh,
they are famous. They are frugal in stereotyping, not stereotyping, but placing those type of categories over our children. And that's one of the things we've really been advocating for here, especially with students with disabilities or what they consider behavioral, is just that atmosphere that does that. And we're like, okay, something has to change. So when I tell you I'm on the ground, I'm talking about this all the time. I'm in people's faces
yeah.
because educationally, and this is something that I want to talk to you about, as your bio stated, that you actually speak to groups of lawyers
Hmm.
who are fighting for educational purposes and educational law. We're doing this, and so what to look for and what to actually present. So what is that? What is that like teaching? And exhibiting before a group of lawyers what special education and children with IEPs and disabilities or not are in need of.
Well, I'll just kind of tell you what I do. So when parents feel that their students or their child
Hmm.
is not given a free and appropriate education, right?
Right.
Um, they will contact this law firm, this law group, and any parent can do this. And luckily, this law firm is work, and they work for free for underprivileged children.
Wow.
And so, I tell you, in working with them, sometimes even when they are involved,
Hmm.
sometimes schools are very slow to budge in giving children what they need.
Right.
And so it's really unfortunate that this happens. But I don't want to paint a bad picture of schools because I've worked for schools that
Yeah.
were
No.
phenomenal
Absolutely.
giving children what they need. But there are those schools, like you said, that just do not. Um, and it could be of a matter of available staff.
Hmm.
Could be a matter of the way that their school is set up. However, when we look at IEPs and the legalities of it, none of that matters. A child needs what he or she needs.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I concur. Um, we like to do something here, and we call it setting our intentions. And before we close out, I don't want to uh, be dismayed by not talking about our intentions. Thank you, number one, for being intentional about our children's education, be it with or without disability, be it with or without behaviors, but underprivileged. For those areas that don't have, and there's a lot of parents who are seeking the help, and then there's some who don't know where to find the help or don't know how to go about seeking it. So we thank you for advocating for them. So we want to say thank you for being intentional about advocating for our underprivileged children, and we want to continue that. So any way we can help you here, in pushing that agenda and making sure that our support is with you, we want to do that. Do not hesitate to let us know. Stage Left is always behind the ball when it comes behind people when it comes to this type of discussion, talking about our children and what they need, building their needs, and pushing them, gearing them towards success. So thank you so much for doing that. We also want to talk about your book because that's a very hands-on manual. We need to have those manuals here. So tell us how we can get your book.
All right. You can get Share Your Voice on Amazon, and you can also get it from my website, www.thescholarsplace.com.
Oh, y'all hear that? www.thescholarplace.com.
The
That's what's up. I like that title for your website, The Scholars Place. So when you actually get together with your teams, and because as you say, you're in education, so I'm sure that you do work closely with all of your instructors or your teams when it comes to the students that do come into your facilities. What is it that you guys, and knowing that school is in session now, and resuming for those of us up north, what is it that you guys do to prepare for the influx of students coming in? Because you have some new faces, you have some old faces. So tell us what it is that you do to prepare.
in the realm of special education, we pretty much make sure that we read students' IEPs.
Okay.
We kind of all IEPs kind of recommend and tell us how much time a student gets in a certain class or setting,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of create a master schedule that accommodates all of that. We make sure that all of our team members know what our students need accommodation wise. From class to class, hey, if this child needs extra time to
Mm-hmm.
do assignments, they need short breaks, if they need to kind of excuse themselves because they know they're about to be triggered.
Mm.
All those sort of things are in IEPs, and we share that information with our team members so that we all are on the same page about what students need.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tarina,
Yes.
Miss Wade. Ms. Wade. Thank you so much for coming through. And I know it seems that time just flies by. It does not mess around. So I know you're looking at the clock like, wow, that was
Can I
really.
say
I do it every episode. But thank you so much for coming on and expressing, the difference between an IEP and a 504, and us talking about reaching out and helping those underprivileged families and children. It's imperative, it's important, it's fruitful. And that's a boots on the ground work. That's not an easy feat. And we don't go to sleep. Tell them we don't go to sleep lightly every night when we're thinking about our babies, school and at home. We, it's like another set of children that we were watching and we're taking care of, just to make sure that their success is high above the expectation. And I feel as though, especially a lot of times when it comes to the underprivileged, there's that assumption that they don't know any better, or that they can't do any better. You know what I mean? Or that we don't know any better. And so, but if we stick together, we all going to get to that point, and we're all making sacrifices for our children daily. So thank you so much for the sacrifices that you're making educationally and personally for the babies. We're leading a nation of children that have dreams. You know what I mean? And goals. I heard one little baby say the other day, I'm going to be the president. I said, girl, you can, and you will. I believe that. Let me know so I'll be there to vote. But it's just facilitating that opportunity for them and bringing it to life so that they can reach out and touch it. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. I'm actually going to go on and I'm going to purchase my book.
Yeah, one more thing I want to leave with is that I am hosting a kind of back to school for parents and guardians
Okay.
tomorrow. So if they want to come in and just ask specific questions about IEP processes or whatever it is that they, are, kind of challenging them with, it is free. Come on in, and will be some giveaways. It's going
Okay.
to be, but I just wanted to create that space for parents.
Yes, absolutely. Are you able to drop that address on here?
Yes, it's on the website,
Okay.
www.thescholarplace.com, under the blogs and resources tab.
Okay. Y'all heard that? Under the blogs and resources. Y'all going over to www.thescholarplace.com and go in and log in and check out the time and the place to go and get your questions answered about your children. Don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid. That's another thing. We're here to support each other. You can come and ask any type of questions, and you can ask what you need and get the answers you need. So don't be afraid to reach out and get that help. And will you please tell us how we can find you on social media and drop the info.
Well, I know I need to do better at social media. So if you go on, you probably won't see a whole lot of posts.
It's all
But
good.
X and Instagram, you can find me at scholars_place.
At scholars_place. That's it.
And
That's
also
Twitter,
on,
y'all. If y'all don't know what that X is,
yeah,
okay, blame Elon and them for changing
right.
it to X. I'm like, are we going Dark Vader? but, but Twitter, Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, Twitter
Okay,
and Instagram, and then also on Facebook as the Scholars Place.
okay. Thank you. Wow. Listen, y'all heard it here in the best spot ever on Wednesday evenings for your information and your comfort and your love. Right here on stage left, we here with Sister Tarina Wade, and we appreciate you for coming through. We ask that for the next journey, don't forget us because we got you, okay?
I'm so thankful for y'all having me,
Yeah.
and yeah, I will keep in touch.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold to the line. We get ready to close out. We love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. The next episode you don't want to miss. Peace.